Hey trackies, welcome back to another video here on TXT Track Time. Please remember to like the video and also subscribe to the channel. So trackies, you know Elaine Thompson-Herah has been in these YouTube streets recently as it relates to her current health status, because we all know she troubles with an Achilles, recurring injury over the years. So yes, we're quite on tenterhooks when it comes to Elaine Thompson-Herah and that particular injury, and of course her chances when it comes to 2024 and going after the never before done from a female perspective, triple double. With that said, yes, so she has been in the news, quite a few takes, and I mean the YouTube streets news. So with that said, quite a few takes as it relates to what's going on. As far as I'm concerned, when I heard the original information, I was like, okay, this is just a regular day in the life of Elaine Thompson-Herah. I was never getting the vibe, that she was quote unquote injured, because I remember looking at her at the NCB Gold launch that she did earlier on in the week, and you could tell that she was in good spirits. She was doing this egg running race. A lot of things were going on, and she looks completely fine. So I was like, okay, well, I guess looks are deceiving somewhat, but I'm still not getting the vibe that she's, heavily injured. And even if she's injured, then we do hear from time to time that she breaks down. So with that said, I don't believe it's anything to really worry about. And as it relates to the specialists that they brought from overseas, that for me was just a preventative measure. And even if, she's again injured, just to get the issue resolved as soon as possible and move on with life. So that was the vibe. Anyway, trackies. Again, as I said, I just came across some very important video snippets of Elaine Thompson-Herah, which I'm going to share in this video for you all to see Elaine Thompson-Herah and the supposed severely injured Elaine Thompson-Herah that was spoken about earlier on. Now, I talked about her opening her season, and I said, look here, at the end of the day, whether or not she turns up at this meet is going to be the defining factor as it relates to her being injured. I don't really care about times at this particular moment because it's just the opening race. Not really that interested in the time that she posts, but whether or not she turns up will tell you how serious her injury is, even if she has one in the first place. Right now, Puma is having some kind of influencer thing happening here in Jamaica. We see the likes of, their top local Jamaican athletes that represent the Puma brand. We saw Elaine Thompson-Herah, we saw Hansa Parchment, Johan Blake, and also Jadon Hibbert. So they were all present at this function, that Puma organized. And what was interesting about this function is that they were teaching some of the influencers how to navigate, the sprints. So you had a section teaching the athletes or the influencers, sorry, how to do block starts when you're doing the 100 meters versus from a hurdler perspective, they were dealing that with Hansa Parchment. And of course, as well, from a 200-meter perspective, which I will get into a little bit later, they had Elaine Thompson-Herah there. And interestingly, trackies, Elaine Thompson-Herah was there, fit as a fiddle, going through the phases, showing the influencers what to do when you get into the blocks, how to ensure that you feel most comfortable before you actually try to raise or, just execute driving out of the blocks. And she looked completely fine to me.
I'm Elaine Thompson-Herah. I'm here to explain to you guys how to run a 200 meter. It's super different from running 100 meters as a curve. It's a little more technical and challenging, but it's not hard. It takes more speed and more. Now I'm feeling much better. So I put my hands here, test. Before I actually even raise my butt, I test my arms to see how comfortable they are. Now I can raise, push, and a little run. You can also bring this foot up more on the block. Good job. Set, go. Good job. Good job.
Now, Chuck is taking a look at this video. In my personal humble opinion, Elaine Thompson-Herah not injured. Elaine is not injured at all. Now, the reason I'm saying that again is that if we all know Elaine Thompson-Herah and that Achilles injury, she's talked about it so many times. She has shown video footage, picture footage of herself when she's actually suffering really with that injury and she's not able to actually walk. I remember last year she was in some boot, I believe, when it came to how serious the injury was last season. And it to be, compared to what was going last year, I have to say is very nefarious and very vile, because there is literally no proof that one, she's even injured, and two, to compare it to just because you heard a specialist is in the island just to ensure that she's, fit as a fiddle, you're going to compare it to some of the worst time she's experienced in track and field. For me, is definitely nefarious and vile, especially taking a look at her today and seeing that, okay, she's getting in her blocks, she's driving onto the block, she's doing all these things with the influencers, with all the Puma execs there, and everything. It seems fine. I don't see anything wrong with Elaine Thompson-Herah. So I just thought it prudent to show y'all Elaine Thompson-Herah, show you say nothing wrong with her. Well, in my personal opinion and my personal view, nothing wrong with Elaine. And even if, there is something, it's something that regular athletes go through on a day-to-day basis. Because again, it's sports, it's athletics. These athletes go through things on a daily basis. I don't think it's anything to really, cause a huge alarm about. But separate and apart from the fact that, I wanted to highlight this video because she was seemingly, in my opinion, not injured at all, right? Also, I wanted to point out that she was actually at the 200-meter start line. Now, if y'all know, I did a video earlier on today talking about, Elaine Thompson-Herah, and of course, what I believe I want her to focus on this season as it relates to hopefully trying to go after that triple double, right? Now, for me, the 100 meters, once she's fit, once she's training well, that's a no-brainer, right? Yes, clearly the competition is there. She's just gonna have to measure up to the competition and try to, see if she can best them on the day. But where it really is interesting for me is that 200 meters. One, because while she's the third fastest woman ever over the distance, she tends to frequently not run the event. No, I've been hearing a few people saying, okay, Elaine just needs to not focus on the event. And even after posting my video early today, I did see other people in the comment section saying the reason why she's had the Achilles issue in the first place was because of the 200 meters, and she should not do it none at all, yada, yada, yada. But trackies, I just want to remind you that Elaine's intention is to go after the triple double. That is her intention. It means that she's well aware of what it's going to take for her to go after that, not only 100-meter title, but also that 200-meter title. Shericka Jackson stands in her way. Shericka Jackson is not slower than Elaine Thompson-Herah. She's faster and then some, right? She's almost world record pace when you think about Shericka Jackson. And as far as I'm concerned, even if you take into consideration last year's run, the conditions, if she was running in better conditions, you'd say, so a positive win allowable, you would say, right? That world record would have been shattered. So you're looking at a woman that is potentially the world record holder over the 200-meter distance, and you're expecting a Elaine Thompson-Herah to not take her seriously. I can't take you guys seriously. Honestly, I can't take some of y'all seriously in the comment section, because there's no way an athlete is going to look at you and tell you that she's going after this triple double, and you're like, okay, don't take the 200 seriously. How is she going to go after the triple double? By not taking Shericka seriously? I think that would be disrespectful of one, to think Elaine is going to be doing that, and two, for Shericka as well, for Elaine to just, pick around the 200 meters and think that she's going to in any way, shape, or form challenge a Shericka Jackson. So yes, I did find it interesting and intriguing that she was at the 200-meter line. So I just wanted to say to some of y'all in the comment section that believe that she should not be doing the two, right? Or that she's not going to be doing the two and she should only focus on the one, or she's only going to focus on the one. Check is that's not going to happen. Elaine's intention is to go after the triple double, and in order to go after that triple double, the 200 meters is part of it, and she's going to have to put in that work, whatever is required to run that 200 meters. I hear all the time that it's hard work. She's just going to have to put that work in, and I think specifically now that I'm thinking about the fact that they have that specialist in, this is a very good reason to have a specialist in the island, so that if your body breaks down while you're going through these training runs, just to make sure that you're at your best, so that when you line up against one of the very best ever to do it over the 200 meters, you can compete, and you can compete and challenge as well. So with that said, trackies, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. One, Elaine Thompson-Herah is not injured. Hallelujah. and the two, let me know your thoughts again about this 200 meters. Again, you see her at the start line there. All intents and purposes in my mind says Elaine Thompson-Herah is getting set, ready to go when it comes to that 200 meters. Like the video, of course, and subscribe. I'll catch you all in the next one. Bye.